Emily was on a video call with her boyfriend. She suddenly became nervous, then quickly hung up the phone. It turned out her boss had entered the bathroom. Emily was a bit worried. She didn't know if her boyfriend had seen the boss, so she prepared to leave the hotel. She had the boss drive her home. While the car was driving, her boyfriend kept calling her, but Emily didn't dare to answer. The boss drove to a gas station to refuel. Emily decided to go buy a cup of coffee. When she was ready to pay, she found there was no cashier in the store, so she put $10 on the table. She accidentally noticed bloodstains on the wall. Emily sensed danger. She prepared to leave this place. Suddenly she was hit by a bullet. Her shoulders started bleeding non-stop. She immediately hid behind the shelves, then loudly called for help from her boss. But the boss was watching videos. He didn't hear the gunshots outside. Emily had to tear her own clothes, then started bandaging her wound. She saw a phone on the ground, so she prepared to reach for it. But the killer also spotted the phone. He shot and shattered the phone. Emily was terrified. She thought about how to escape. Suddenly a man's voice came from the cash register. It turned out there was a walkie-talkie on the table. She prepared to go get the walkie-talkie, but the killer was still aiming at her, so she grabbed 2 bags of snacks, threw them into the air, then took the opportunity to grab the walkie-talkie. Emily told the man to call the police immediately. She had encountered a killer in the supermarket. At this moment, the boss walked into the supermarket. He was looking for Emily. Soon he was hit by a bullet. Then he died. Emily was terrified after seeing this. She could only hide behind the shelves. Then she used the walkie-talkie, asked if the other person had called the police. The man didn't answer her. Instead, he asked what her relationship with the boss was. Emily threw away the walkie-talkie. It turned out the man was the killer outside. Emily thought of a plan. She saw the power switch in the distance. If she could turn off the supermarket lights, she could take the opportunity to escape. After multiple attempts, she failed to turn off the power. Just as she was throwing things, she discovered the shelves could move. She saw there were wheels under the shelves. Emily used the shelves as cover. The killer immediately started shooting. Emily took the opportunity to turn off the power. All the supermarket lights went out. The killer stopped shooting. Emily crawled over to the boss. She took the car keys from the ground. Then she activated the car alarm. Soon a car drove over. A man walked into the supermarket. It turned out he was the supermarket owner, James. But Emily didn't dare trust him. She suspected he might be the killer. To prove his identity, James wanted to call the police, but his phone was in the car, so he planned to get his phone. He asked Emily to use a flashlight to distract the killer. James quietly approached the car. Just as he reached for his phone, the phone was shot by the killer. Then James was also killed. After hearing the gunshots, Emily felt completely desperate. She saw umbrellas nearby. She thought of an escape plan. She opened all the umbrellas, then placed them at the supermarket entrance. The killer immediately started shooting frantically. Emily took the opportunity to reach the back door of the supermarket, but the door was locked. She wanted to use a fire extinguisher to break the lock, but the lock was very sturdy, so Emily found a small saw. She prepared to saw off the lock, but the saw wasn't sharp enough. Suddenly another car arrived outside. The driver was an elderly man. Emily came to the window to look. She warned the old man that there was a killer nearby.